In the vast tapestry of Islamic eschatology, few figures evoke as much intrigue and fear as Dajjal, the false messiah. The trials associated with his arrival have been prophesied as among the greatest challenges humanity will face, a test of faith so profound that even the strongest believers will find themselves questioning their convictions. Within these prophecies lies a striking and thought-provoking detail: the majority of Dajjal's followers will be women. This specific prediction has puzzled scholars and believers alike, prompting deep reflection and interpretation. Why women? What underlying factors might contribute to this imbalance during such a critical moment in history? To understand this, we must delve into the teachings of Islam, exploring the Hadith that highlight this prophecy and examining its potential societal, spiritual, and psychological dimensions. It's essential to approach this discussion with sensitivity, recognizing that such prophecies are not meant to single out or criticize but to offer guidance and provoke introspection. In this episode of Signs of the Hour, Dajjal and the End Times, we'll unravel the layers of this complex question. By looking at historical contexts, modern-day challenges, and timeless lessons from the Quran and Sunnah, we aim to provide a comprehensive understanding of why women are mentioned in this prophecy and what lessons can be drawn for believers today. As we embark on this journey, remember, I am just a student seeking a bit of knowledge. The real knowledge lies with Allah. May He guide us to the straight path. Let us uncover the wisdom behind these prophecies and their relevance in our modern world. The prophecies concerning the trials of Dajjal are deeply rooted in Islamic traditions, primarily in the Hadith of the Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him. Among these prophecies is the stark assertion that women will constitute a significant portion of the followers of Dajjal. This detail, found in various authentic narrations, has spurred centuries of discussion among scholars regarding its implications and context. One of the key ahadith on this matter is narrated by Abdullah ibn Umar, where the Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, said, "Dajjal will come, and most of those who follow him will be women." Another narration describes how women will be so profoundly affected by his influence that guardians will have to restrain their female relatives to protect them from falling under his spell. This prediction is startling but not without reason. Islamic scholars emphasize that such prophecies are not condemnations but warnings designed to prepare and guide the faithful. To understand this phenomenon, one must consider the unique societal and spiritual challenges faced by women across eras. In the context of the Dajjal's trials, he is described as a master of deception, utilizing illusions and psychological manipulation to sway even the most steadfast believers. Women, who often hold significant emotional and relational roles within society, may be particularly vulnerable to such tactics, especially in environments where faith and moral values are under constant attack. Furthermore, some scholars suggest that the prophecy reflects the societal conditions that might prevail during the end times. In a world increasingly dominated by materialism, spiritual neglect, and moral decay, certain segments of society may find it harder to resist the allure of false promises. The focus on women in this context highlights their central role in maintaining the moral fabric of families and communities. Their influence, when directed positively, can be transformative, but when misled, it can ripple destructively through society. Another interpretation considers how women's roles and freedoms might be manipulated during the Dajjal's era. Historical contexts reveal that women often become the first targets of societal upheaval, their rights exploited or restricted based on prevailing ideologies. The prediction could serve as a cautionary tale, urging vigilance against influences that might jeopardize their spiritual and moral well-being. However, these prophecies are not meant to alarm but to awaken. They highlight the importance of nurturing faith, resilience, and knowledge, regardless of gender. The emphasis on women reflects their pivotal role within the family unit and society at large, reminding everyone of the collective responsibility to uphold truth and resist falsehood. As we delve deeper, it becomes essential to explore how these prophecies connect to societal structures and the moral challenges of the end times. This understanding helps to frame the narrative within a broader, more nuanced context that is as relevant today as it was centuries ago. The spiritual and psychological vulnerabilities that might lead many to follow the Dajjal, particularly women, are deeply tied to the trials and deceptions he is prophesied to unleash. Understanding these vulnerabilities requires a closer look at how faith, emotional resilience, and societal pressures interact during times of immense moral and spiritual upheaval. From a spiritual perspective, the Dajjal's power lies in his ability to manipulate perceptions and exploit weaknesses in faith. He is described as someone who will perform apparent miracles, such as bringing the dead to life, controlling weather, and offering material wealth to those who follow him. For those whose spiritual foundations are weak, these deceptions could be overwhelming. In an era where belief in the unseen is already challenged by a culture that prioritizes tangible results and immediate gratification, the Dajjal's temptations will strike at the very core of human desires. Women, as central figures in family and societal dynamics, may face unique challenges in this regard. Their emotional and empathetic natures, while strengths in nurturing and community building, can also make them more susceptible to psychological manipulation. The Dajjal's promises of security, prosperity, and relief from hardships could resonate deeply, particularly in contexts where societal instability and inequality leave women more vulnerable to exploitation. Psychologically, the Dajjal's era is described as one of unprecedented chaos and moral decay. In such a climate, fear and uncertainty can overshadow rational decision-making and spiritual clarity. Women, who often bear the brunt of societal turmoil, may find themselves grappling with intense emotional stress. This stress, compounded by the Dajjal's manipulative tactics, could weaken their defenses against his deceit. Moreover, the influence of materialism and worldly distractions plays a significant role in spiritual vulnerabilities. The Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, warned against excessive attachment to the dunya, worldly life, emphasizing that the Dajjal's greatest weapon will be his ability to appeal to human greed and desire. For those whose lives revolve around material gains, his promises of wealth and comfort could seem irresistible. Women, often targeted by industries that promote consumerism and unrealistic standards, may be particularly at risk of falling into this trap. Societal expectations and pressures also contribute to these vulnerabilities. In many cases, women are expected to juggle multiple roles: caregivers, professionals, and community leaders, often without adequate support or recognition. This relentless burden can lead to feelings of inadequacy or spiritual neglect, creating gaps that the Dajjal's influence might exploit. His ability to offer false solutions to real problems, security in times of fear, wealth in times of poverty, could become a dangerous allure. At the heart of this discussion lies the question of spiritual resilience. The Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, emphasized the importance of strong faith and adherence to Islamic principles as a shield against the Dajjal's deceptions. Women, like men, are encouraged to seek knowledge, strengthen their connection to Allah, and prioritize the teachings of the Quran and Sunnah in their lives. The trials of the Dajjal, though immense, serve as a test of this resilience, pushing believers to rely on their faith and not the illusions presented to them. The emphasis on women in these prophecies is not a condemnation but a reflection of their significant role in shaping families and communities. Their influence extends far beyond themselves, meaning their choices during the Dajjal's trials could have far-reaching consequences. For this reason, the warnings serve as a call to all believers to protect and empower women with the knowledge and spiritual strength needed to navigate such challenges. By understanding the spiritual and psychological vulnerabilities that may arise during the Dajjal's era, we are reminded of the importance of building strong foundations of faith. These foundations, rooted in trust in Allah and adherence to His guidance, are the ultimate defense against the trials of deception and despair. Modern-day society provides a striking backdrop against which the prophecies about the Dajjal and his trials become deeply relevant. The challenges of our time, rapid technological advancements, materialism, moral decay, and spiritual apathy, echo the conditions described in Islamic eschatology. Examining these parallels reveals how current trends could set the stage for the trials foretold, particularly concerning the vulnerabilities of faith and societal dynamics. One of the most significant parallels lies in the prevalence of deception. In today's digital age, misinformation spreads faster than ever, blurring the lines between truth and falsehood. Social media platforms, while powerful tools for connection and learning, have also become breeding grounds for manipulation. Algorithms designed to exploit human emotions, fear, greed, envy, mirror the tactics the Dajjal is said to use. People often find themselves drawn to carefully curated illusions, losing sight of deeper truths. This culture of surface-level engagement and emotional reactivity makes society particularly susceptible to charismatic figures offering simplistic solutions to complex problems, much like the Dajjal's approach. Materialism is another profound challenge that resonates with the prophetic descriptions of the Dajjal's temptations. The modern world is steeped in consumerism, where success and happiness are often equated with wealth, possessions, and physical appearance. This obsession with the dunya, worldly life, weakens spiritual connections and distracts from the pursuit of eternal rewards. The Dajjal's promises of material prosperity, control over resources, and relief from suffering would naturally appeal to a society already conditioned to prioritize material gain over spiritual fulfillment. Moreover, the erosion of traditional values and moral clarity further aligns with the conditions prophesied to precede the trials of the Dajjal. Issues such as the breakdown of family structures, widespread immorality, and the normalization of sins create an environment where deception thrives. People increasingly seek personal freedom and gratification at the expense of collective responsibility and faith-based principles, leaving them vulnerable to external influences that exploit these weaknesses. The rise of technological power is another significant factor. Advances in artificial intelligence, genetic engineering, and virtual reality have brought about unprecedented possibilities, but they also raise ethical questions and spiritual dilemmas. The Dajjal's ability to perform miraculous feats, such as controlling weather or resurrecting the dead, could find eerie echoes in modern technologies capable of manipulating nature and altering perceptions. For a society already accustomed to being dazzled by technology, distinguishing divine miracles from human or artificial deception may become increasingly difficult. Additionally, the challenges faced by women in modern society bear relevance to the prophetic warning that they will disproportionately follow the Dajjal. Women today navigate a complex world where societal expectations often conflict with personal aspirations and spiritual duties. The pressures of career, family, and societal judgment can create emotional and psychological strains, leaving some more susceptible to manipulative influences. The Dajjal's era, described as one of chaos and fear, could exacerbate these challenges, making his false promises of security and prosperity all the more tempting. The emphasis on individualism in modern culture further complicates matters. While self-expression and autonomy are important, the extreme focus on personal desires often leads to isolation and spiritual emptiness. This is especially dangerous in times of moral and social instability, as individuals without strong community ties or spiritual grounding are more likely to fall prey to deception. At the heart of these modern challenges lies the question of spiritual resilience. In a world that constantly pulls believers away from Allah's guidance, maintaining faith becomes a conscious and continuous effort. Islamic teachings emphasize that the key to withstanding trials, whether in the present or during the Dajjal's era, is a strong connection to the Quran and Sunnah. Regular acts of worship, seeking knowledge, and building supportive communities are essential in fortifying oneself against both subtle and overt deceptions. Ultimately, the modern-day parallels to the trials of the Dajjal serve as a powerful reminder of the importance of vigilance and preparation. The challenges we face today, though immense, also provide opportunities to strengthen our faith and develop the clarity needed to discern truth from falsehood. By recognizing the relevance of these prophecies in our current context, we are better equipped to navigate the complexities of the modern world and prepare for the greater trials that may lie ahead. The Quran and Sunnah provide profound lessons and guidance to help believers navigate the trials of life, including the ultimate test posed by the Dajjal. These sacred sources not only warn us of the challenges but also equip us with tools to fortify our faith and discern truth from falsehood. By adhering to their teachings, believers can find clarity, strength, and protection against spiritual deception. The Quran emphasizes the importance of faith in the unseen, al-Ghaib, as a cornerstone of belief. Surah al-Baqarah reminds us that true believers are those who believe in the unseen, establish prayer, and spend out of what we have provided for them. 2. 3. This principle is crucial when facing the Dajjal, who is foretold to manipulate perceptions and present illusions as reality. By trusting in Allah and the divine knowledge conveyed in the Quran, believers can resist being swayed by the superficial allure of the Dajjal's deceptions. Surah al-Kahf holds particular significance in this context. The Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, specifically advised reciting the first 10 and last 10 verses of this chapter as protection against the Dajjal. These verses emphasize Allah's ultimate power and remind believers of the transient nature of worldly life. The story of the people of the cave within Surah al-Kahf also illustrates the importance of seeking refuge in Allah during times of trial, highlighting how steadfast faith can shield believers from harm. The Sunnah complements the Quran's guidance by providing practical examples from the life of the Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him. He warned his followers about the Dajjal in vivid detail, emphasizing the importance of vigilance and preparation. In one hadith, he described the Dajjal as a one-eyed deceiver who will perform seemingly miraculous feats to lead people astray. He also instructed believers to prioritize prayer, charity, and acts of righteousness as a means of strengthening their spiritual resilience. The Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, also stressed the value of knowledge and awareness. He advised his followers to study the signs of the hour and understand the nature of the Dajjal's trials. This proactive approach underscores the importance of education and reflection in maintaining one's faith. By staying informed and grounded in Islamic teachings, believers can recognize and reject falsehood when it appears. Another critical lesson from the Sunnah is the emphasis on community and mutual support. The Prophet, peace be upon him, highlighted the dangers of isolation, warning that the Dajjal's deceptions would be easier to resist when believers stand together. Acts such as congregational prayers and collective study of the Quran foster unity and provide an environment where faith can flourish. In contrast, isolation increases vulnerability to doubt and confusion. The Quran and Sunnah also emphasize the importance of humility and reliance on Allah. The trials of the Dajjal are a reminder that human knowledge and strength alone are insufficient to overcome such challenges. Surah al-Falaq and Surah an-Nas, which the Prophet, peace be upon him, frequently recited for protection, teach believers to seek refuge in Allah from the harms of both seen and unseen forces. This reliance on divine guidance ensures that believers do not place undue trust in worldly powers or material possessions. Additionally, the Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, urged his followers to maintain strong ethical principles, even in the face of immense trials. Honesty, patience, and justice are values that fortify the soul against corruption and deceit. The Dajjal's era will test these virtues, but by adhering to them, believers demonstrate their commitment to Allah and their rejection of falsehood. Ultimately, the Quran and Sunnah serve as a compass for navigating the complexities of life and the challenges of the end times. Their teachings remind believers that trials are a test of faith and an opportunity for spiritual growth. By internalizing these lessons and applying them in daily life, believers can build the spiritual resilience needed to withstand even the greatest deceptions. In doing so, they reaffirm their trust in Allah and secure their place among the steadfast and faithful. In our journey through this profound topic, we have uncovered insights into why women will disproportionately follow the Dajjal and how the challenges of faith, deception, and societal vulnerabilities play a role in this phenomenon. By exploring prophecies, spiritual and psychological dynamics, and the context provided by the Quran and Sunnah, we've gained a deeper understanding of the trials foretold for the end times. These revelations serve as a reminder to strengthen our connection with Allah and to prepare ourselves for the tests that lie ahead. But our exploration does not end here. The trials of the Dajjal are interconnected with larger themes in Islamic eschatology, offering lessons that resonate with believers today. In the next episode of Signs of the Hour, Dajjal and the End Times, we will delve into the crucial question: how does Surah Al-Kahf protect us from the Dajjal? What secrets lie within its verses, and why did the Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, emphasize its recitation as a safeguard against the Dajjal's deception? How do its stories of faith, perseverance, and divine intervention prepare us for the ultimate trials? These are the questions we will explore in our upcoming discussion, connecting ancient wisdom to modern challenges and uncovering practical guidance for navigating the tests of faith. Make sure to stay tuned as we unravel the mysteries and insights of Surah Al-Kahf in the light of Islamic teachings. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to our channel Ancient Aliens Secrets to join us on this journey of discovery and knowledge. May Allah guide us all to the straight path and grant us protection from the trials of the Dajjal.